Hey guys, it's Doc's Market Minute for Wednesday, June 10th, and what I'm looking at here is MetLife. And MetLife, last Wednesday evening, I highlighted as a whale trade candidate that I was going to enter the very next morning. So let me talk about, just for a second, the setup for this and what's important. First of all, obviously what's important is the trend. So forget about any signals that you see on the chart, any indicators or anything like that. That's secondary to price. So what we saw on the monthly chart, we saw an uptrend. So what we had seen at this point was higher highs and higher lows, and this was in the process of potentially making another higher high. So we felt good with the trend on the monthly chart. On the weekly chart had gone from a short downtrend, changing polarity back up to an uptrend again by putting in at least a higher low and showing the potential for a higher high. So we like that one as well too on the weekly chart. And then on the daily chart, what we had seen was a very choppy move which had turned into an uptrend by putting in a higher high and a higher low. And so basically this is where we were sitting at last Wednesday evening and saying, all right, this one looks good from a trend perspective and also has a tremendous amount of energy for this to move. And what we're looking at here is the choppiness index down here, and high values show us that the spring is really wound up and coiled up and ready to bounce from there. Okay, so we had not only had trend, but we also had an amazing amount of energy. And we don't need that big of a move, really, for these option trades to make 100% return. So we entered last Thursday on here and almost were out of this trade within a day. Literally, the first day we had about a 1 point move and almost out of this trade, and it did fire today. So we had to hold into the trade for about 4.5 trading days before this thing fired. But on an average of 11 days, this one was fairly fast. And this is the type of candidate that we're looking for, and had all the conditions lined up for this one to be a successful candidate for us. So that's it for today's Market Minute. Thanks for listening, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.